most of you know all of this, but for the camera and posterity, probably. Dara is Baba's nephew. Baba's brother, Adi Jr., had a son named Dara Irani. And Amrit is Kumar's daughter, one of Baba's old disciples. And today they're going to tell you about how Baba brought them together.
That's the way.
So, thank you.
Why don't you tell them how Baba brought us together?
Come back there, go. Really, thank you. Have to a restaurant and I'll talk. That's right.
You guys are with family? Yes.
Thank you. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. Well, as far as how Baba brought us together, my part of the story begins in 1964, 65. My father, stepmother, my sister Shireen, myself, we'd come to India for a visit. Baba called us for a visit, and it was from December 64 till March of 65. So we were there 3 months in Ahmednagar. And during that time, we were fortunate that we could often go to Meherabad and visit with Baba. 3-4 days a week we'd be out in Meherazad and spend the whole day out there. So it was during one of those days I was with Baba in Mani Hall. My father, stepmother, Trainee, Shireen, we were all there with Baba, and my auntie also, my auntie, she also happened to be there. Baba had called her there for some work, and it was she who interpreted Baba's gestures to me, and she tells me that Baba says not to worry, he has already found the right girl for you to become your wife. And it's a big gulp.
It is a perfect one.
And all I could say was thank you, Baba. And that was it. No more reference was made to this for the rest of our stay there. And of course, I went back to England with my family and resumed my life there. And time went by, in fact 3 years went by, before I heard again concerning this subject, when one day I received a telegram from Baba asking me whether I was ready to get married. So I sent back a message to Baba saying, Baba, what would be your wish? I'm ready. So, of course, I get a message back from Baba to say, well, you know, he was pleased with my answer, and now, of course, he would do the needful. And of course, all along, of course, the back of my mind, naturally, you know, I would have the thought that, you know, Baba's going to choose the right girl for me. But even then, you know, being normal and human, I kept wondering. I said, I wonder what she's going to be like. You know, of course, I had no idea of Amrit's existence till that time. And my father, now we've reached December 68. December 67. My father is called to India to be with Baba. So, of course, he comes, he's there at Meherazad with Baba. And it was, whilst my father was there, I get word back, first sort of idea of Amrit's existence, because although her family were Baba lovers, and I've never really heard of her till this time. So, of course, my father writes back to me, and a photograph of Amrit is also sent to me. And Baba's message is, of course, that Amrit to be my wife, and then all the arrangements for the marriage as to the time, the day, were all being planned during those weeks that my father was with Baba at Meherazad. Now, of course, prior to my father coming to be with Baba instructed that I should go and get some photographs of myself taken. Duly done. And then, of course, those photographs were, of course, then sent to Amrit. So now you pick up the story here where you first received word from Baba.
Okay. I'll tell you a little bit background. I come from, of course my parents, they were Baba lovers even before I was born. But still, I'm from North India, Dehra Dun, which is foothills, Himalayas, beautiful place. And I'm from Hindu background, where in the custom or tradition, whatever you call that this arranged marriage is done for the girl. But as I was growing up, I had warned my parents, don't you dare arrange marriage. Yeah, and so not only, I was only 17 when I first heard that Baba is arranging marriage. So my parents, Baba, I didn't know about that, but my Baba would write to my father and ask him, how old is Amrit, how she is doing, even though we were a couple of other brothers and sisters, but he never much asked about them, and how Amrit is doing, how she's doing in schools, how she's doing, all this. I used to feel very proud of myself. Baba is asking about me only, but never realized why he's taking all the information now that. Then time comes, in 67, when one day I came back from school, and there's this huge big brown color envelope addressed to me, and the corner I could see the Meherabad stamp and all that came from Baba, and all. I was quite surprised because there used to be communication, but only with parents, with father especially, not ever with children. And being a youngest daughter, I didn't know expected that. So, and without any idea and things like that, took that envelope to my room, and I opened that envelope, and first thing, all this bunch of photos of this young man fell out of this on the floor, and then I looked around. Dara was living in England those days, and that was the time of Beatles and all that. He looked very much like them. Little long hair, this thing. And I thought, good, who's this? Opened the letter, and there's this letter in Erich's handwriting. It wasn't typed or anything, but Baba had dictated to him, saying, on top of the letter, there was in capital letters saying, read this letter carefully. Do not take this as my order. I'm just asking you would you marry my nephew? Can you imagine the tricky one? We were, of course, Baba was in, even though we were just born in the family where they love Baba, but even I had accepted Baba as, Baba, as beloved. And so he's asking me, and not telling me to do that, asking me. For me, it was more than telling me. So of course I read the whole letter, and the letter said, everything about Dara. If any woman would like to know about the man she wants to marry or something, everything was there. Who he is, how old is he, his height, his weight, his family, his education, everything about Dara's eyes. That time he could see a little bit. That's why my photo was sent to him. But he was going blind. And Baba did mention that, even mentioned that the problem, the disease he has, he might go blind one day. So, told me everything about Dara. And shared this letter with your family. So I read the letter, and, I'm only 17 that time, so it was like a little, it was a shock. I wanted to study. I never considered myself to be ready to be married. I was more like a tomboy, I wanted to play football and all that. So I just reread the letter, came down, I had a bicycle cycle, I took that, I didn't even talk to my family, anybody. And my father knew there's a letter for me from Baba. My whole family knew because it used to be a big, letter from Baba. So then of course, all the neighbors would know too. So I just go to telegraph office, to send telegram to Baba. Yes, Baba, I would marry your nephew Dara. And I came back home, and then I gave the letter to my father. So my father was, he read the letter and he got really worried. He said, where did you go? What did you do? So I went to send telegram to Baba. What did you say? I said, yes, I would marry Dara. And he was so happy. My father would do anything. He was really, really very happy and gave me a big hug. And he said, really, you did the right thing. Of course, even though he's just asking and not telling you. But that's what he wants. Even though my mother felt little because as a mother, she realized that Dara is almost blind and one day he will go blind and you're too young, how are you going to handle this? And they don't even live in India, they live in England, you have to move with him there. And mother's concern when everything was there. But somewhere deep inside, even she and we us all knew if Baba's asking, has to be, that's the way it should be. So, in a couple of days later, I got a telegram from Baba. I'm very happy and I would like you to come and visit me immediately. Gave us, you and your father, just gave us 2 days time. And I remember it was 15th of September when I received the letter, and October we were asked to, the second 2 days time, same month, we have to be in Meherabad. So quickly the whole family got together and, I got ready to go to Meherabad. And, I haven't met Baba for 14 years. I last met Baba in 1954 when he gave darshan in Dehra Dun. So, even the family was regularly visiting, the family, his mother and father would come for different darshan programs and things like that. They couldn't afford to bring all of us. We were 4 brothers and sisters. So I was now already, I forgot all about the reason, that why Baba called me. For me, I'll be seeing Baba after so many years. And I always remember Baba from that age somehow, as because his photos, the talk and this and that, parents going visiting, coming back, Baba. So I never forgot that, that darshan program, the time when I met Baba. Now I'm all excited, time is coming closer, train is reaching, coming towards Ahmednagar, and we were given all the instruction that Dr. Donkin will meet us, will bring us to Trust compound, and we wash up there, and then you come to Meherabad, and you stay in Meherabad, me and my father. So, sorry, this is 68, middle of 68, not it's a few months before the marriage. So I'm really, all excited, all this. And what I remember Baba, that time Baba, that's 14 years before Baba, in those 14 years Baba had accident and all that, so he had really aged now, which I didn't know. to me, Baba would be same Baba whom I saw when I was 3 years old. You know, I'll go and run to him and give him big embrace, and it was so beautiful to be with him and all that. Yeah, you know, he will play out and he'll be sort of, you know, running around and people will be visiting and all that. And time came, so I reached Meherazad, and it was evening time. We came from men's side of the Mandali, like we all do, you know, now even. And whole His Mandali sitting there, Arish comes over, he said to me and my father, he said, Kumar and Amrit, you came very late. It's evening, so my train was late and all that. You won't be able to see Baba this evening. But then the message comes, but you can go inside. The ladies are waiting for you, Mehera, Mani, Gohera, Raja, you know, all Meheru, Katie and all of them. No, Katie was in Bombay that time. So go there. And not my father stayed back in men's side and I was sent towards the ladies' side. And I was a little disappointed I won't be able to see Baba, but at least, you know, ladies there. So I go there and the scene, you won't believe it. Here, Mehera is standing with a huge big platter, you know, in her hand with a, Indian Parsis, Jharastans, you know, when they welcome somebody, they come out with flowers, some sweets, some, you know, like to welcome you. And she brought that big, you know, to welcome me. For me, you know, like, I never expected something like that. I should be doing something like that for His Mandali, His Mehera especially. But the scene, you know, it was great surprise and, you know, it was too much. So I go there and Mehera gives me these flowers, puts a little candy in my mouth, that with a sweet mouth enter our house and all that. And I start just, the tears came out. It was too much to take from Mandali, something like that. Anyway, then Mehera said very sweetly, I'm sorry, as you know, he came late, you won't be able to see Baba. And, you know, I was really disappointed, just my heart, and more tears came out. It was that long to be with him, but, and that time, that moment, as soon as Mehera says you won't be able to see, there was a sound of clap. And I never ever knew that Baba, that's how he called, but that moment I realized could be only his. It was such a beautiful sound. And you know, they just gave me that platter in my hand, and I'm like the Japanese doll. They all left me there and there, right near Mehera's porch, and I'm just standing there with my wife and my tears, and they all disappeared. It was Baba's order, whenever he calls, whatever you're doing, leave everything and come immediately, right? Which I didn't know. I mean, and then after a couple of minutes later, Mehera comes with a beautiful smile. Guess what? I said, you can come and visit him right now. And then you could just imagine, you know, how I felt as I'll be just going in this room. And I was taken from Mehera's sitting room, her parlor, you know, where, not from outside the darshan room, but from inside. And I'm all shaky and things like that. So I come to Baba's room. And I look around and there's, my Baba is not there. There's this old man sitting on the bed, completely, you know, that who I came from, like, from right of him, there's the door there, and he couldn't even gradually turned his head like that, and with a hand gesture he asked me to come. And all of a sudden, you know, there's this old man sitting there who couldn't even move. There's no God. I mean, I was ready to, you know, visit my God, my Baba. So I just in front of him and I wanted to go back. And I just looked at him and I just started crying, more crying. So Baba, I saw him frowning and said, you okay? You must be tired, you've been traveling and you'll be alright, not to worry and things like that. And that's what I wasn't thinking about that. I was missing my Baba. You know, the Baba whom I saw when I was 3, that Baba wasn't there. But you know, Baba had been in weight, he was chubby, sitting on the bed, his legs were dangling down where the cushion is there where we go now and bow down. And all of a sudden, you know, I felt faintish, I felt tired, I felt, you know, sweaty, so much noise I could hear from everywhere. I wanted to just run out of that room and look for him, you know. And that moment he raised his hands like that, you know, for embrace. And I had no idea when I went for, really, honestly, no idea when I went for that embrace. And I found myself holding my Baba that minute, you know, I was really holding him. And that wasn't a sick old man sitting there with this healthy young person is giving you that embrace and saying, okay, you people, what you make me go through. I mean, later on I felt that way. And with my head, he took it on his shoulder and patted it for some time. And then I wept a little bit more there. Now it was different. There was happiness there. And it seems like a long time, but it couldn't be more than a minute or so, maybe a minute and a half or something. Then with my shoulder, he pushes me back and gives me this look, you happy now? And all of a sudden, the cool breeze is coming in that room. It's very silent, it's lovely, then I could smell the flowers in that room. And I was with my beloved Baba, so that was, anyway, then he said, after a while, wiping tears and things like that, gave another embrace and sat down. He said, sit there. And he said, okay, now you're very tired, wash up, have something to eat with ladies, and go tomorrow in Mandali Hall, we'll have meeting. So, wake up early and we'll have breakfast around 8 o'clock, so come to the dining room. I was staying ladies and my room was, with them. So I said, okay. We go, and Baba told all the ladies, we know you, because ladies have spent quite a lot, Baba and His Mandali have spent time up north in my hometown. So, you want to know everything what's going on and how this one, don't disturb Amrit, let us sleep tonight. Tomorrow we'll ask all the questions. So I was sent to my room, and all of a sudden I wake up next morning and I realize exactly 8. So quickly brush my teeth, wash, change and run. And I come to Baba's Mehera's dining room, and Baba sitting head of the table, and I see completely different Baba this time. This time my Baba was like a little baby. He's sitting and then he just freshly must have helped him to have bath or something. His hair is still wet. She's standing behind him, combing his hair, stand by side. Here's there's a big bowl, just like baby, big bowl of pour in front of him, and he has this beautiful white cotton, soft cotton material as a bib. Tied, baby call that, the way don't drop it. Yeah, tied in back and knot, and this thing, and I come to there and I see my second Baba. I saw old Baba, then I saw, near Baba, now I saw this baby sitting there, and you want to just go around to him and cuddle him, hold him, Anyway, I was asked to sit down by myself. So I sat down there, and we all had breakfast, and then we were asked to around 9:30 come to Mandali Hall. With Baba, everything was done very early mornings. Even our marriage to later on was very early. So Baba was, of course, was in pain and all that, so he was carried with his on his chair to the Mandali Hall. And there, to my surprise, I knew nothing about that. This whole Mandali Hall is full. The one for Baba sitting is exactly the same place where his chair is right now, and in the corner like that, and there's almost like 10 chairs are there, and there's everybody's men Mandali from Meherazad, plus his outside Mandali, like Sharosh, Viloo's husband. I don't know how many people you know him. He was one of his Mandali who's no more now. Dr. Duncan, Francis Brevizon, and Meherji, Adish Senior. Dara's father wasn't there. He had already come, talked about it and gone back. So it was like my father, and they're all sitting there in chairs. It's like a full office there. He's sitting, the chairman is on his chair sitting there, his office there. So I was asked if I want to sit there, but I chose. Next to him in the corner was the right side of the corner. I said, Baba, can I sit this up? So he of course his hand. Then Mani and Gohar used to always hover around Baba because of his health and all that. And Mani and Rano, as his office girls, were there too. And that's the day then they started talking about marriage, that when it will be, how many guests will be invited, Baba was just like sitting there with, again, little frown. Just he needed a briefcase, otherwise everything was perfect, like in his office. And yes, you want to say something? How many guests? And whom should we invite? Oh no, it was too big. Should have been Sharosh, who was he was the one who was always giving charge for parties and this and that. And he was coming out, Baba, we should have this and we should have this. Baba said no.
Yeah, let me just interject here and tell the story about Sarosh, and Viloo also was there. So, of course, they were, Viloo and Sarosh, especially Viloo, was always Baba was always used to give her the task of organizing, any functions. She would be given charge of the catering. So, of course, here's the same thing concerning the reception after the wedding. Baba gave Viloo the responsibility of doing the preparations for the reception. So it was a very limited budget in which the reception, the food had to be prepared. So of course, she had already made out a list of what eats there would be served, which was within the budget. But then when it came to the question of the soft drink that were to be served, there's this incredible battle took place between Sarosh and Viloo. So when Baba asked them, what soft drinks you'll serve, so of course Sarosh immediately said Coca-Cola. and Coca-Cola in those days was considered to be sort of a more expensive drink, whereas Viloo, wanting to be more economical, said, Baba, we'll serve them orange squash. It's cheaper.
Concentrated
form, dilute it and serve it. So Sarosh said, no, Coca-Cola. So
and they're going this way.
He says, Baba, he doesn't know anything. He's so clean. We orange juice. And Baba's just sitting there quietly and listening to them, arguing between themselves. And they're going on, no, Sarosh, you stop interfering. Baba's given me the charge. I'm saying orange juice. And Sarosh says, no, it's a wedding. We must have Coca-Cola. And this continued for a while, and Baba just sitting there and smiling. And then after a while, Baba says, snaps his finger, and of course immediately they realize what's going on, and they've totally forgotten Baba. So Baba says, what's the problem? So Viloo holds her head and says, Baba, I don't know, Baba. I've arranged for so many parties before. Just last week there was a general, and we had 100 guests, and not this headache, Baba. This is become a big headache for me. And she's sort of holding her head, and Baba says, well, Viloo, is that have you ever done anything like this, for me before? Baba. So Baba says, well, what is the headache? What is giving you the headache? So she says, look, Baba, I'm saying that we should serve orange juice as soft drinks, which is more economical. And Sarosh insists on Coca-Cola, which we really can't afford.
The day was decided, and drinks were decided, and everything was. And the meeting was over after that, and what has happened to it? Yeah, no, good things. Many years later, they were telling me to argue about it. Yes, then some other day, what has happened? Nothing, but just only the wedding talk and preparation and all that. After that, in the evening, we were staying in Meherazad now, and fortunately, it was almost 5 weeks that me and my father had time to be with Baba and with His Mandali. And those days, Baba would come out and he would tease me. So you're getting married, huh? He would make getting married. England, it was a small place, and you're going to London, England, he's staying there, so kind of. And one day he says, then Baba was sending me and my father to Bombay, where Arnavas and my husband Raymond were living, to do wedding shopping. One more thing, for this wedding, for us, Mehera and Baba did everything. Like my parents were told not to even spend a penny on Amrit, not even the moment she leaves home, her train ticket, her this, that, other, everything from Baba and Mehera. So like, they were the real parents for me, and I always, felt like Mehera is real mother and my mother. Because when I was born, my mother didn't give me a name. She waited for me. Mehera was north India at that time. They were close by in different town, and they had to come to visit my family. So they waited for Mehera to come and give me a name. So I even got the name from Baba and Mehera, and then they arranged my marriage, and they did all the spending for this, expenses and everything. So Baba tells me, I'm sending you to Bombay now, to Ahmednagar. She knows all about Bombay and things like that. You buy your wedding sari there. Then he says, which color? What you gonna buy? All of us I didn't even think about it. Yes, Baba. Then I said, Baba, us in up north, in the Hindus, we wear that bright red color with the gold and all that. So Baba said, but ours we wear white, so the Westerners wear white. Why don't you mix this and give it pink? And he says, go Bombay and buy pink sari. So there were like little details. It was so beautiful. I didn't even have to think of anything. So my saris were planned. I did everything. And then sometime while in those 4 5 weeks once, and then he said, I'm really very tired, and I want to laugh, tell jokes. And so we'll crack some jokes and tell him some funny. And you can imagine that I'm really bad at telling jokes, and especially in front of Baba. All of a sudden, Anyway, he said, come on, make me laugh. So I came out with that one small story and told him, and things like that would go on, and then some reading. And one more thing, sometimes I'll just stand there because I didn't, money, then other ladies will have some work with him, read letter, we have to tidy up his room and help him to dress and all that. So I would be just standing there all the time. So one day he said, look at the compassion, would you like to press my feet? They're hurting. He knew that I want to touch him, I want to be near him. So I don't know if he really wanted, but he said, come. And then he said, Mani, give her a stool to sit down here. And he was like, and then he allowed you to play around with his feet for a long time.
Like a daughter.
Yeah, and so like that, our days were passing there. Time came, I was sent back to Bombay to do shopping. Then we came back from Bombay, and as I said, I was young, I was fat. Did I say I was fat? I was fat. I was really very chubby, quite plump and things like that. So he said one day, do you know what, you've seen Dara's photos? Stop me when you think it's going to talk if I'm done.
No.
Yeah. Dara is small built, he's skinny and things like that. Really big, Go home. I was going home now to my mother's, and then the wedding was decided for 22nd December, which is Mehera's birthday too. Our engagement was decided, and 23rd will be the wedding. We never haven't met or anything. It's been just arranged. He's in England, I'm in India. And so you go home and reduce. And and we had 2.5 months to come back. And we were called 12 days before the wedding again, So come back. So I said, okay, Baba, I was really embarrassed and all that. So I go home and I tell mother everything. I said, the wedding has been decided for 23rd, and then there's a few days more in Meherabad, in Ahmednagar with Baba. So then I'll go to England with him. Oh my darling, you won't get this there, you won't get that there. And she started feeding me. So was my friends, cousins, uncle, aunts, and they all started inviting me. I'm going far away. And time came, it's 12th of December, we're back again in Meherazad. 18th of December. I come to his first day, I come running now, it's my territory, I knew everything, I knew Baba's room and all that. I come running to Baba, and Baba looked at me. Really, no hello, no jai bye, nothing. He frowned. What happened? He moved it. And I sneezed, coughed, choked, everything happened to me at that time, And Baba said, go ahead, what's the matter with her? She's not well, what happened to her? Go ahead, Baba, she got fever, she got temperature. Oh, is that right? Don't put her here. The little lady said, look at the punishment. Mehera, Baba was always very concerned about ladies, and especially Mehera catching all this go, send her inside. So I was given Baba's room. How till today he tells me, yes, you are the one who threw me out of my room. I was asked to go somewhere else, and I was given Baba's room because it was near Mandali House. It was in between, that the ladies could come visit me too. And for 12 days, 22nd is the engagement, I'm completely on bed. just been given some pills to swallow, or maybe a little clear water, they were calling it soup or something. And in 12 days time, when I got out, I was on this side. I never gained much weight after that. They're not. Yeah. And then it's the engagement day. I heard somebody comes and whispers to me, Dara is in town, but Baba won't allow him to come to see him. Can you imagine, first time he's coming to see this sick girl, going to be his bride in a couple of days' time. So we didn't see each other till 22nd, engagement day, one day before wedding. That in front of Baba's presence, Baba came from his room. Yeah, before that, I was sent to Mehera's room. Mehera helped me to dress up, gave me this beautiful sari to wear. And then I was taken to Baba's room, and I'm built in looking at Baba, like complaining with Baba, I'm so sick, and smiling at Baba. Said, look, how nice, that's not sari, And then he's been trying to, and I'm saying, Baba, then I'm not feeling well. No, you'll be all right, don't worry about anything. And so Baba said, you sit down. Baba Shiva was brought out. Baba was asked to come there, and all these the guests were invited. It's Mehera's birthday too, same as our engagement. Almost 200 guests were invited, and they were already sitting. Everybody, was perfect, everything. Then I was asked to come there, and I had to, front of all these 200 people, they were expecting me to look at me, see this person, I'm going to get married. So I just come and my head is down. You must have seen that this is Baba's last film was taken on this day and next day, 23rd. And I just looked down, I just couldn't look up, and we just standing there near Baba, nervous, and for both of us, we weren't important. Baba is there, Baba thinks he's not well. And even though all the guests and everybody's focused on Baba. Anyway, Baba was giving these 2 rings, our engagement ring, which Baba was holding in his hand with big that, and put it on the engagement ring, and I did the same to him. And then there was some sing songs, and then I was sent immediately to road. I couldn't stay back for a shot because I still had 108 fever that day. Yes, and so I saw I'm engaged, but I hadn't talked to the person. And later on, you want to say what happened then? People got there to visit me, to introduce me to your fiancé.
Yeah, but of course, before that, it was also Mehera's birthday, so there was a reception for Mehera's birthday. The cake was there, Meherabad. It was also the first time that Baba had Mehera stand and asked everyone, including the men, to greet her. So everyone sort of filed past Mehera and wished her a happy birthday. So it was now we realized that Baba was preparing her for the day when she had to play that role and not be so secluded and protected she was. So of course we all filed past and wished her a happy birthday. And the same Amrit had been whisked away and put back to bed. And I joined the festivities. I found Mr. Masora were there, of course, so I immediately found them and just sort of was talking with them, was having the food and soft drinks that were there, and when I hear Annawas call out to me, and she tells me that wouldn't you like to spend some time with Amrit? Okay. So she takes me to the room where Amrit is lying. Of course, there's a room, and other of us sit next to her bed, and she leaves. And I'm sitting there, and Amrit is sort of half lying, half sitting up in bed, not feeling well, and I'm feeling very uncomfortable and really having no idea as to what to say. So after just sort of making some silly comments as to, hope you're feeling better tomorrow.
No. He was as he was from England, living there for so long. There was real British. Nice weather outside. That's what I remember from that.
Well, anyway, I decided that best just leave her and walk out. And as I was leaving that room, that house room where the Amrit was, and heading back towards where the food was, of course, parties, that's what they enjoy most, eating. But as I was headed back towards where the food was, to my horror, I hear Annawas, again, call out to me. And obviously she was standing and watching. So she said, what happened? I said, nothing. So she said, what do you mean nothing? I said, we don't seem to be able to communicate. So she said, come on. So she brought me back into the room. And then she sat there with us for about an hour. Breaking the ice between us, getting us to sort of be more relaxed with each other.
He gently picks in my hand, puts it up, and it was so sweet,
And then, of course, it was time for us to all leave. And I was staying at Viloo while Amrit was at Meherazad. So, of course, I returned back to Viloo. And then the next day was the wedding, and as Amrit mentioned earlier, Baba wanted everything to be done very early. So the time of the wedding, Meherazad was set at 9 o'clock. So of course, we may have had God, at our wedding, but it still didn't make it legal. So of course, Baba being the practical one, had instructed Saroj to, of course, have a registrar there for the marriage to be made legal. So of course, no registrar in India would ever be available before 11 o'clock in the morning. But because of Saroj's position, he was able to drag this poor registrar out of his bed, and he was there at Viloo's, where this little ceremony took place at 8 o'clock in the morning. So of course he was there, and we signed the registrar, and then we whisked off to Meherazad. Of course, Amrit was brought from Meherazad for the purpose of signing the register in front of the registrar. And then we were going to say with the rest of the family, we stopped in Meherazad and got there before 9 o'clock. And the same kind of scene was there. The Meherabad porch, the veranda was the stage, the 2 chairs were there. We both were made to sit in the chairs, and then Baba was informed that we had arrived, and he was brought out of his room. And the ceremony, that's what we call it again, was very, very simple. Baba held our wedding bands in his hand, and
Eric came, he did the talk, introducing us to them, and told everybody that's by Baba's wish, we both were getting married, and then Baba was kind of giving him signs, and he was saying whatever Baba wanted him to. So then,
So we exchanged our wedding bands, and we garlanded Baba. We had a garden. We were told that we could garland Baba, so we had a garden for Baba, and we of course embraced Baba, and Baba sort of tells us, well, aren't you garlanding each other? Because we weren't prepared for this. We had no garlands left. So Baba says, and in the meantime, of course, the people who were there, and Baba has given them the opportunity to come and meet him. So they brought flowers and coconuts and garlands, which were all piled by Baba's feet. He just allowed them to put them on his feet. So Baba just pointed to that heap of flowers and garlands and said, just pick one up from there. And
So
did you do the vows? In-house exchange?
No.
And then the cake was brought, their birthday, which Baba held with us. 3 of us, Baba was holding the knife in the middle, and my hand or Dad's hand was in front, right? 3 of us cut the cake. And we were dancers in life that time. And then again sing songs and all that. And then later on, in Baba's room, and everybody's gone, we were calling Baba's room. I think the second day, we were given 2 icing roses from our cake, which one of His Mandali had taken. And we were given those 2 roses to each one on our 25th wedding anniversary, which was last year. And the other ones for 50th. So I asked him to take first bite, to donate it to survive. No, but I'm telling you, I must tell you about this rose. Do you have time? Tell us true. We decided on 25th, to bring one of the roses out from where we kept. These roses been all over the world, and we got lost for 6 months. And when we first went to England, our bags got lost, and those, these icing roses were inside that bag. And then somehow they came back after 6 months later. They found our baggage scented, and then later on we were living with Viloo, where I couldn't keep them in the freezer because servants used to touch that, and often electricity would go away and the water, this, that. So they were in my clothes, in a little perfume box I put them, And so these roses were never kept properly. They were things. So now when the time came, and I'm teasing that, you take the first bite. Anyway, yeah. So on 25th, I opened the thing. It wrapped in 2 different tissues, one in pink and one white. So top one is pink. I picked that pink one. And we decided to go to Baba's Samadhi and sit outside with the benches, bow down there, and open that and eat that there. And this really, do you won't believe it, that rose was still proper, it didn't even crush or anything. Still had a beautiful pink color and just like 1 day old. Still very sweet, and a broken petal I gave to him, and a petal I took, another petal, like that. Really soft, it was just like just today's, it was that. It was, we wouldn't believe it, it's not like, whispering to each other, still, like very sweet. I was expecting something, really. And so now the second one will be after another 24 years to go yet, buddy. Yeah.
Anyway, to put this all into some kind of perspective, a few days after the wedding, we were with Baba in his room. And he turns around to me and he says, Dara, when Amrit was just a baby, 3-4 months old, when I was in Dehra Dun at a family's home, mother brought it to me and placed her in my lap for my darshan. And that is the time when I decided to be away.
Child marriage,
Was it very, very difficult at first when after you were married, you getting to know each other? You must have both felt so.
Yes, it wasn't difficult in a way,
Actually, you see, again, Baba was so compassionate, and I mean, of course, now we realize, how he helped us, because one day, again, in his room, we're there, the Mandali are there, and he asked us, "Do you love each other?" This is 2-3 days after we got married. So,
What to say no?
so we say, "Yes, Father." Is that so?
Oh, I see.
Then kiss each other.
Ladies' man is standing there. All of them, my mother is there.
So of course,
Yeah.
we gingerly go and kiss each other on the cheek. I turn around Baba and he's got this frown in his face. And he's saying, "Is this how two people in love kiss each other?" And he points to the lips. And he makes us kiss each other.
Yeah, that was.
So I'm saying this is, just not to embarrass us, but to help us.
Help us. That was like helping. And then he said after that, "I'll bless you with 2 sons." And he named the first one, he spelled it out, Meherwan, Meherwan, who's getting married end of this month. And then later Mehera named the second one Jamshed after Baba and Baba's brother. Yeah. So that's our story and our children. I want to be crowned with a show. Yes.
So did you have more coke left or more orange?
Back to my room. No, I didn't have either one of them. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. And one more thing had happened, like I was living in Meherazad. I was this marriage and everything because Baba had asked me to. Not I knew him or loved him or anything. But the time came I had to go. Now marriage is over, reception is over, we've been given the instructions and we were asked to need to go with him. I said, Baba, up till now everything was fine. Whatever he told me I did. But going with him, no. Okay. So he said, no, you're married, you have to wife, go on. And so we were, Baba said, doctor, go ahead. Poor doctor, go ahead, who knew less than we knew about, being a husband-wife or anything. And so go with him. So I went with Dara, his 23rd afternoon, we leave for being the place. And there again they were having this big dinner and all that, but Baba's instruction was that Amrit is not well, she shouldn't be, ask her to take rest as much as she can. So as soon as I went there, I was asked which room to go, and I was sent there while they were all having dinner and parties. I had no idea, I woke up next morning. And first thing, as soon as I woke up, I started crying, literally like a little child. I want to go back to Meherazad home, I don't want to stay here and think. Sure, she was very strong, powerful, with a heavy voice. And, what's the matter with you? You married woman, you stay here. So no, I said, no, you could go back to Meherazad when you were living back, not anymore, unless Baba invites you. And I said, no, I'm going. So they were like, Sure says the phone, Adi Senior in town, in Ahmednagar. Ahmednagar, that time Meherazad didn't have phone, somewhere far distant pumping station, water pumping station. The Baba always used to have somebody there for emergency. So this time emergency was there, Amrit is creating tantrums and she wants to come back. So Shoro's phone's Adi phone's petrol pump. This guy sits there, takes a message, takes his cycle, goes to Baba, comes back, message comes to Adi and to Shoro, yes, Amrit can come. So I said, see, I could go. And I'm all ready, who's Dara? And I'm ready to go. All of a sudden I hear this voice from back of me. It's your husband's birthday today. Aren't you gonna wish him happy birthday? Oh. Says happy birthday, And no, he said take him. I said, but the Baba is only invited me, not him. But they said, no, you go take him with him. He'll stay in the car. You go to Baba and tell Baba, and then that Dara is here. So I go running to Baba, leave him in the car. He wasn't invited. He was way outside. I was running to Baba and give him a big hug, and I cried at Baba, I don't want to go back with Dara. I want to stay here. Baba said, yes, you can stay here. And I don't want to go with Dara. No, you don't have to go with Dara. I said, what? I thought he's joking. I said, really, Baba, I can stay here? Yes, you can stay here. And then he said, okay. Then I said, Baba, Dara is there. He's sitting in the car. Send him back. Send him back. All of a sudden, So Baba says, oh, the game is going on. He said, oh, it's his birthday. And Baba says, birthday. He says, birthday. Kuku, why did you tell me? Go and call him. And then I called him, and that's the time he made his case and all that, So I would go there, and Baba asked me to get me a handkerchief or something to give him as a present. And and then Baba did ask me to stay a few days there without Dara. Well, then Dara was coming there every day and we would sit and talk and things like courting started after marriage. Yeah. And that's how then a few days I stayed with Mandali again after marriage while Dara stayed at Viloo. He would come, we'd talk, and then he sent us out to Ahmednagar to see the caves, sent us to Bombay here and there to know each other gradually. So that's how we...
In the film, how long had you known Dara? You know, that beautiful film. When did you last see the film that was taken in Himalayas?
We see that once in a while. Yeah. That's what you're asking, when did we see that film last?
Yeah. I say, how long had you known each other?
Oh no, just one day before. While this film was going on.
Yeah, that was just one day.
We haven't even met yet.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Actually, there are two segments to that movie. It's sort of edited. One is the 22nd, Mehera's birthday plus the engagement, and that's the first time we saw each other.
That's the one we had.
Yeah.
When did you last see that?
Recently at Meherazad.
It's both is actually in one film because
But then there's another one after that.
No. That's the last film. 22nd and 23rd was the last film. Last film, public version.
People say you were looking very happy. I said, you're damn right. I was petrified.
I was sick.
Baba's nephews added a lot of humor to that set.
Oh yeah. Twins were there, they did sing, they sang Hole in the Bucket. Yeah.
Any more questions?
We don't fight. No arguments. We are
Actually, the first few months were blessed because there was a communications problem. You see, I'd lived in England all those years, and I'd forgotten a lot of my Hindi. And Amrit, well, she was brought up in a village where she didn't know any English. So of course, initially, there was not much to fight over.
Believe me.
I just, of course, two things that Baba told me at the time of the wedding was concerning Amrit was that one was don't send her out to work and don't force her to change her ways, meaning her dress, her culture. Yeah, because what Baba was of course referring to was that she was going off to England. So don't try and westernize her. But of course, Baba took care of that himself in the sense that, as Amrit mentioned, we left. The last we saw Baba at Meherazad was on January 10th, 1969.
21 days before the
We left Nagar for Bombay on the 11th, and on the 12th, or the night of the 11th, we flew off to London. And of course, this is the first time Amrit's going away. So we arrived in England, and all our bags are there except Amrit's bag, which of course contains all our clothes. So
it's all your wardrobe.
yes, immediately, Baba's put her in a situation where, of course, she has to by force, sort of change her dress.
Which was practical too, because like Punjabis and saris could be very cold. It was January, it was freezing, snowing. So you have to wear some tight pants or something. Yeah.
Why do you think Mama loves Dara too much to find him? He got that beauty.
Thank you.
do you feel very much, to me, it's like Baba arranged this marriage like it was very symbolic for the changes that he was bringing about in the world, because it's like two different groups of people, two different faiths, it's just, and the westernization that you took on your own, after having been brought up in a village, it just seems very symbolic of the first two
What I feel about exactly what I feel about this, like, as you know, that on the 6th day he dropped his body just exactly 1 month, 7 days after this wedding. I mean, we were fortunate that Baba chose me and Dara for this work of his. But just think about that. He was physically really not well at that time, but still he went through that pain to bring two young people together, make them go through this marriage, and bless them with children, ask them to live normal life. He did in his lifetime all sorts of work. He, he attended plenty of weddings, he suggested some weddings and things like that, but no. Here, each detail, even what color you should wear, what food should be, and so I often think about it, yes, it is something important. If we call him Mere Baba or beloved and things like that, should we take that seriously? Like he himself wanted this marriage, these two people to live like, normal husband, wife, and all that. Not really normal husband. But it is, like, why did you do that just before dropping his body?
Thank you so much, Dara.
Thank you.